Have you ever heard someone around you say with a laugh, "Haha, I don't have many friends"? This sentence sounds like a joke, but it may hide a trace of real helplessness behind it. Let's start with a few surprising numbers. In recent years, more and more studies have found that modern people, especially men, are falling into an unprecedented sense of loneliness. Data shows that compared to 20 years ago, the proportion of modern men who feel they have no friends has increased fourfold in the United States. In 2021, the American Life in Survey found that 15% of men said they had no close friends at all, compared to 3% in 1990, a nearly fourfold increase. The figure for women is 10%, which is not low, but better than men. Taiwan. In 2017, a study by a professor in the Department of Sociology at National Taiwan University showed that the proportion of men who had never confided in a friend skyrocketed from 3% in 1997 to 19%. Moreover, the number of close friends that men had contact with dropped by 43% in 20 years, which is higher than the 31% for women. Japan data from studies on hikikomori, people who have almost zero social interaction with the outside world, shows that 3/4 of these people are men. These numbers are telling us that loneliness is spreading globally, and men seem to be more likely than women to fall into this loneliness trap. Especially young men in the under 30 age group, nearly 30% say they have no close social interactions at all. Does that sound a bit scary? Experts have found that there are several key reasons behind male loneliness, which may sound quite familiar. From an early age, boys are taught to be strong and independent, not to show weakness easily, let alone complain to others. The saying "men don't cry easily" is simply a childhood memory for many men. If you encounter setbacks and go to friends to confide in them, you may be met with ridicule or indifference. Over time, boys learn to hide their thoughts and feelings, solve problems on their own, or divert their attention by playing ball or playing games. There is nothing wrong with this "rely on yourself" model, but the problem is that it makes it difficult for men to build deep emotional connections with others. After all, talking about your feelings is the key to bringing relationships closer. If you always choose to suppress or divert your attention, where will you find close friends? Not to mention that after growing up, society puts another layer of shackles on men to work hard, start a family, and take care of the family. It seems that no matter where you go in life, a man's role is always tied to independence and responsibility, leaving less and less time and space for friendship. You might say, "I have friends, colleagues, teammates, gaming buddies, aren't they all friends?" But that's another problem. Men and women have different understandings of friends. Psychologist Paul Wright proposed a classic metaphor in 1982. Men's friendships are shoulder to shoulder, and women's friendships are face to face. What does that mean? Men feel that friends are people who can do things together and belong to the same group, such as teammates who play ball together or play games together. Friends in the eyes of women are often people who can share their feelings and support each other. So men may feel that they have a lot of friends, but these shoulder-to-shoulder relationships often remain on the surface, failing to meet deep emotional needs. When you really want to find someone to talk about your stress or worries, you may find that no one really understands you. Although the above two reasons have existed for a long time, why has loneliness only recently become so serious? This is inseparable from the changes in modern life, the internet age. Social media allows us to see other people's perfect lives at any time, which not only easily makes people feel comparative, but may also make us less willing to actively contact friends for fear of being not good enough. Late marriage and singlehood studies have found that unmarried or divorced men have a much higher sense of loneliness than married men, because family or partners are often a haven for emotions. Nowadays, economic pressure is high, and more people are marrying late or not marrying, and men are losing this layer of support, so the sense of loneliness naturally increases. Impact of the epidemic. The isolation during the epidemic has forced many people to reduce social interaction, and the sense of loneliness has become even worse. You may think that loneliness is just occasionally feeling down, and it will pass if you bear it. But the World Health Organization, WHO, solemnly announced in 2023 that loneliness is a global health crisis. Its harm is not just making you feel bad. Mental health, loneliness significantly increases the risk of depression and suicide. During the epidemic, global depression and suicide rates increased significantly, which is highly correlated with loneliness. Cognitive impact, long-term loneliness can even change brain structure and increase the risk of dementia. Physical health. Loneliness increases the risk of cardiovascular disease, and the chance of stroke may increase by 50%. It also weakens the immune system, making people more prone to inflammation. The WHO says that the health risks of loneliness are comparable to smoking 15 cigarettes a day, which is more dangerous than obesity or lack of exercise. Not to mention that loneliness not only hurts yourself, but also affects the people around you. For example, men with a high sense of loneliness may become overly dependent on their partners in relationships, putting too much pressure on them. Or because of low mood, the quality of interaction with their children deteriorates, which in turn affects family relationships. The good news is that loneliness is not an unsolvable problem. The first and most important step is to adjust your mindset. Having been taught to be a man since childhood, you may feel ashamed to show weakness, but in fact everyone has emotional needs and it's not embarrassing to express them. Tell yourself, talking to friends about your worries won't make you less of a man, but will make you more authentic and relaxed. Try starting with your existing circle of friends and find one or two people you trust to talk about different topics. For example, instead of just talking about work or games, try sharing some of your feelings, such as, "I've been feeling a bit stressed lately, do you ever feel that way?" It may feel awkward or even be rejected at first, but that's normal. Heart-to-heart talks are a skill that needs practice. As long as you're willing to take the first step, you can gradually find good friends who are willing to face with you. Try to devote some of your attention to friendships, such as joining interest groups, signing up for courses, or reconnecting with old friends. These non-romantic relationships can make your life more balanced and reduce feelings of loneliness. Loneliness is not necessarily a bad thing. Sometimes being alone can help you understand yourself better. The key is not to let loneliness become a vicious cycle. If you feel lonely, you can try doing something that makes you happy, such as exercising, reading, or learning a new skill. These can help you rebuild confidence and then be more motivated to connect with others. The feeling of loneliness is indeed becoming more and more common among modern men, but this does not mean that you can only endure it silently. Starting with changing your mindset, bravely take the first step, and you will find that there are actually many people around you who are willing to listen to you and accompany you. Loneliness is not the fate of men, but a cycle that can be broken. So, next time you hear someone say, "LOL, I don't have many friends," you might as well ask him, "Are you just missing a buddy to talk to? Or are you the one who wants to say this?" Don't be afraid, try talking to the people around you. Maybe you will find that true friends have been waiting for you to speak up. Do you feel lonely? Are you a lonely type who is completely friendless? Or a lucky one who has a few close friends to talk to? Feel free to share your story and let's chat together.